Last summer, Movivo had a prototype Android app and no backend, and they brought me in as CTO to basically do what I wanted, to develop it from a prototype to a product, and I chose AWS Lambda because I thought it would be cool. So I did what I normally do, which is just to have a go, and this turned out to be a bit of a bad idea. I looked at some websites and there was pretty much nothing there. This was 9 months ago. And there were a bunch of things I wish I'd known before I'd started. So one of the first things, you know how when you have a server you can do things like tail -f error log? Well, you can't, and that kind of disappears. And that sounds like a strange thing to say, but it's pretty obvious, but it really caught me out for quite a while. So you kind of got to learn to code for no server access, and you don't have any server access with third-party APIs either, so you've only got API responses to go on, so it kind of makes things a little bit more complicated. So code for no server access. So the next thing is that testing is harder. Sorry, but nano functions are easy to test in terms of just load testing and unit testing, but in terms of systems and integration testing, pretty much a nightmare. So just think about that before you start. So imagine you've got a system with all of those things on it, and you've got push notifications and a bunch of triggers to do a whole bunch of stuff. A system test is virtually impossible unless you've got a comprehensive deployment or configuration management system from the very beginning. I didn't, and it was a nightmare, and it still is, and we're still kind of working on that at the moment. So I'd just like to say, can we have solutions that are kind of, extensible beyond AWS within the community, please? Because I think we need more than just AWS. So the next thing is, I think you need to be a better engineer. There's the whole idea of a Stack Overflow grammar. We are trying to avoid them. Going serverless was pretty much, there was no help whatsoever apart from the vendors, and it was pretty difficult, and flying solo was hard. But over time, I think if you take a more disciplined approach, I think we'll get there. I think it takes a bit longer to create a full system. The Lambda functions are easy, but TCO benefits longer time are enormous. So I think you just need to think about size of team as well. It'll be different if you've got one person as to 200, so don't just start and see what happens. So, mistakes, I think, are easier to rectify when you've got nano functions. You just replace one function with another, and as long as you understand what's supposed to go in and come out, you're fine. You're not having to replace the whole system. Of course, the idea of integration testing, again, is important, but if you architect your system well, then replacing like for like should actually be quite straightforward, and you shouldn't really notice the difference. To add to this, you can replace things with different languages, so you don't have to stick to one language within the nano function environment. So think about that as use the languages for the right reasons, don't just stick to one unless you don't want to. So you can actually afford to fail faster in this scenario. You can try something, and if it doesn't work, you can go back to a language you're more comfortable with. So, limiting data transformations, I think, is actually really important. So, we are all very used to writing functions where you have 3 to 4, put, update, do another put, and then a get. But in a distributed scenario, you can't guarantee the service provision in the same way. So, the rule of thumb that I have is 0 or 1 data transformations per function. This is limiting failure points in the function, but it also gives you a binary success or failure on the function, which is actually really, really helpful. On another point, please don't overcomplicate your data schemas. If you have to use relational databases, do, but actually most of the time the best way of doing this is through some kind of NoSQL or a Firebase or something like that. And you just have to keep simple data schemas at that point. Next thing, limit your libraries. I know people love to put in, Express and all of these clever things into node functions. Just please don't. Please stop doing it. It's a silly idea. Keep your functions small. And then basically what happens at the end of the day is you end up drinking cocktails on a beach. Because you have a joyful time actually not having to maintain very much and having a server that runs without you there. But not only that, I can do things like go on holiday with my 5 children and spend time with my family, and I don't have to worry about servers going down. Because basically if the servers go down, Amazon's gone down and there's an apocalypse. Pretty much the final slide is manage your deployment, have better engineering, fail faster, simpler data schemas, limit the libraries, and it gives you more free time. So I'm Johnston, I am CTO of Movivo, and I am hiring at the moment. And I'm at Paul D. Johnston on Twitter and Medium, where I'm blogging about servers. So thank you very much.